Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? HolyNiwa here with your daily astrological forecast for Tuesday, April 10th. Much better intro. How are y'all doing out there? Hopefully you guys are having a good one. The moon, as we constantly take a look at through the transits here, is still in Aquarius. So honestly, today's episode is going to be a little bit short, I believe. I don't think there's a whole lot to be talking about, but instead of giving you guys a synopsis, let's go ahead and give you guys the dates of what's going on today. So as you can imagine, oops, that's a lot of aspects we weren't ready to talk about yet. The moon is still in Aquarius, right? We just entered in yesterday. We definitely went through those lower degrees in the first decan. We're now moving through the second decan, and as we do so, we're going to be conjunct the south node. Now keep in mind that the moon and the south node are going to be at critical conjunction almost around 4 a.m. so many of you guys may be asleep during this time period. However, I think that energy of the conjunction will still be around for most of the morning and, even lending itself into the afternoon. So it's a very interesting aspect to get and may also align with any personal planets that you may have in your chart. So who knows, the morning may be where the energy is most focused, but it might be your activation during the afternoon. So, it really kind of plays out to your specific charts out there. Now, two things that I've noticed are, of course, the moon conjunct south node. That's the first thing we need to talk about. And honestly, a lot of the energy that's going on today is the same energy that was going on yesterday. So again, you guys remember that yesterday we very much spoke about the yod, and we also spoke about the 21s going around here. So again, there's not a whole lot in regards to all of this. It's still for the most part really the same thing. However, what kind of lends itself to a different note, and also, by the way, we do have the very early degrees up here as well between these three signs. That is Athena, Ceres, and Mercury retrograde. So again, a lot of this is still the same energetically. What we got going on instead is the whole moon really kind of becoming highlighted as it goes over the south node, and this may be a trigger for you guys along with your Mercury retrograde review season, right? I feel like with the south node conjunction, excuse me, that is not a Mercury retrograde, that is a Uranus. With the south node, I feel like karmic things are going to be popping up, whether it be from this past or from a past life, but something that needs to be addressed during this lifetime will be coming up definitely within the next 24 hours. There is a huge focus for you to kind of really address something that needed to be taken care of, and now it's kind of like, hey, remember that one thing that you were supposed to do? Hey, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it now because you've been avoiding it this entire time. So that's one way to interpret that. And of course, the south node also in the natal chart really represents to something that you've kind of mastered in a previous life, and you've been kind of shied away from in this life. So just do keep that in mind. And if you have any personal planets that conjunct the south node, then that is going to influence them as well as the rest of the house that it's in, and cause the house's energy to feel a bit different from the rest of the chart, because it's something that we're kind of good at, but at the same time also needs some attention when you go through inverse returns. Now, the other thing that I wanted to note on is that today Venus is going to be squaring the nodes perfectly. We've been kind of talking about this for quite some time. We've been seeing Venus creep up. We were talking about 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it's up to 12, the same degree that the nodes are on. So today is going to be the apex of Venus squaring the nodes. And what does Venus squaring the nodes kind of mean, right? So with Venus, we're trying to find what makes us feel great, what makes us feel valued, what makes us feel like we have some kind of worth, or that we have something of worth. It's trying to find stability that makes us feel good, that makes us feel connected to other people. And scoring the nodes, this is kind of like, using the things that you have picked up in this lifetime while trying to also address some things that you may have from your previous life or from your previous experiences. Now, or this could even be in return, right? This could also be of like, hey, how do I use my mastery of the previous life to kind of move myself forward in this life? So again, there's definitely some sort of like connection with the future and the past, and Venus here is almost at the present, trying to find the way forward, by grasping at both ends of time, if you will. So it's gonna be a really funky day, especially having relationships with other people, as well as possibly even your own finances. I would definitely be very adviseful and just take care of the economic actions that you decide to take today, because things are kind of trying to move forward in a forward momentum, I should say. And in order to do so, you're looking both forward and backwards at the same time to come up with the best solution to be able to continue moving forward. So just keep that in mind for today. Today is going to be the apex of this energy. Of course, we've been seeing the buildup for a little while now, but it hasn't really dropped. Today, within the next 24 hours, we're definitely going to be feeling that intensity of Venus's T-square here. And of course, the resolve energy will be with us for the next couple days. So that's the first thing that I kind of like noticed in regards to the nodes. And of course the moon here being the big trigger of it all, because what are the odds of the moon going over the south node as soon as Venus decides to T-square the nodes, right? Like that's some expert timing. As far as moon aspects goes, we do have the moon squaring Jupiter, which isn't necessarily the greatest type of aspects here, right? There's definitely a bit of a tension that needs to be created in order to be able to move forward in regards to your emotions and your own faith and optimism. Definitely this might be a time in which you're going to take an emotional hit to be able to realize that something does need to be addressed or needs attention. And I say needs because, again, the moon, it does address our needs. And because we're talking about the south node here, this is pretty energetic. This is high energy going on here. Not necessarily high vibrations, but definitely high energy going into all of this. So our moon definitely wants to be more progressive, more forward thinking, more free, more airy, wants to progress. But we have this Jupiter in Scorpio retrograding, thinking of the darker side of us and kind of like holding us back. And this square is definitely having that intuition kick in, or that emotional feed of, hey, there's some shady shit inside of us that we kind of need to really address. And again, with that Venus T squaring and the conjunction with the South Node, the Mercury retrograde going on, there's just so much energy to address things right now. Again, as I've said, this Monday, this is going to be the last week of the Mercury retrograde to be able to fix things before really be able to move forward. So right now, this energy is kind of really at a peak. I mean, hell, we have a yod happening at the same time as well. We have a T-square and several other aspects just all really aligning properly. There's a lot of energy to really push you forward right now. A lot of energy. So again, with this moon squaring Jupiter, this could definitely be talking about, again, resurfacing dark aspects of ourself that really need to be addressed. And when I mean dark aspects, I mean deeply enrooted, bottom of the sea shit that sometimes we don't want to acknowledge, or we don't want to bring out, or we don't want to face, right? Because again, Scorpio doesn't necessarily reflect the darkness within us, but it reflects those things that are really deep and profound, and sometimes we don't want to acknowledge, right? It's kind of funny that we kind of treat the devil card sort of something like, it has to be someone else. There's a devil involved. It's the person that's, someone's manipulating us, or someone's fucking with us or something, right? We always want to shift the blame to something else, to someone else, right? But the devil card reminds us that, no, it's not a devil that's causing us to do all of this. It's ourselves. And so, this is kind of that like slap with a trout across the face of, hey, you need to fucking acknowledge the fact that these are your own thoughts, these are your own emotions, these are your own beliefs, and these are your own optimism, and you need to fucking face them. So again, there's definitely a lot of energy here that is telling you to really look at the situations you're in, the lifestyle that you're in, your mentalities, your emotions, your thoughts, your, whatever it is, to be able to move forward. There are things that need to be addressed first. And this isn't necessarily a scary time. This isn't necessarily a challenging time. Yes, we're going to go through a couple tests here, there, or a couple lessons here, there, because we do still have a now widening but still conjunction between Mars and Saturn. So yeah, there's going to be a couple lessons that we're going to have to act upon. And that's cool. Because again, these energies are really getting us to push forward. And as I'm talking here, I just realized that we have another aspect that I hadn't even noticed till this very second. There's not one, but there is two yods going on right now. And I have no idea how I didn't see this until just right now. Look at this. We have Athena and Ceres sextiling, working together, both of them pointing towards Mars. Or actually towards Saturn, really, because we're looking at the yod degrees here. So yeah, they're both pointing towards Saturn, which is at the 9th degree, and both of these asteroids are in the 6th degree. So that looks like a good old nice yod to me, a little bit loose, but hey, still works. So what's going on here, right? Direction and nourishment. There's a lot to learn here in regards to these two aspects. The direction we want to go in, the experiences that we have gone through, and the actions that we want to take to resolve them, as well as the type of things that we need to be nurturing in our life. The directions we need to be nurturing in our life. And here, because it's a sextile, these two asteroids really need to consciously work together from your own actions. So again, you need to have these two energies work as one, as they learn their lessons, essentially, or you learn your lessons on what it is that need to be addressed. So I mean, hell, this just adds more I'm not gonna necessarily say like adds more fuel to the fire, but adds more weight to the situation at hand, right? Of like, yeah, we're really trying to move forward, and it's, you know, quite surprising of everything that's going on here. Again, I didn't quite notice that yacht until this very moment, and I'm so glad I didn't finish this video without having actually noticed that. So definitely there's just there's a lot of progressive energy right now. There's just so much progressive energy right now. I don't know, I haven't seen aspects like these in quite a long while, that are just like key, man. They're just like they fit so proper at the moment. So just keep that in mind. As you go about your day, you may stumble into a situation or into walk into a room and realize, oh fuck, I wish I hadn't walked into this, because now you kind of open the can of worms, if you will, that you may not necessarily want it to open. But just know that these cans of worm need to be opened so that we can resolve issues that are still hanging with us that need to be squashed. That's the overall message of the day. There's definitely a lot of learning opportunities, a lot of growing opportunities, a lot of definitely energy to be able to resolve things and be able to move forward. So I think that pretty much covers today. I said I thought we were gonna have a short episode. Guess we didn't. My bad on that. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully, the episode was still good and helpful and gave you guys a little bit of insight on what type of energies we got going on for today. And definitely make the most of it. Like I said, we're not having another Mercury retrograde phase like this for like ever, almost, I want to say, at this point, because this is too beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen a Mercury retrograde this beautiful. The next one is not going to be great at all. There's going to be 7 retrograding planets, and after that it's going to be bombshell left and right. So you just got to take this one as your best one for now, because it really is. It's too good. Don't pass it up. Just please don't pass it up. But yeah, again, thank you all for coming in. Really hope this helps. Yeah, as usual, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll catch you guys on the next cast. Peace.